Welcome to the last week and a half of October 2024. I am not following prompts, but instead I have my own theme, which is Animals of Poland. Each day I draw a different animal and tell you something about it. So, on the 22nd of October I drew a brown bear, in Polish niedźwiedź brunatny. Those bears used to inhabit the whole Europe, but now it lives only in some areas. In Poland, they live only on the southeast in mountain regions. They are omnivorous and their diet consists mostly of plants. In winter, they hibernate in dens. They usually are easy to tame, but even then may be dangerous. One of the tamed bears was part of Polish corps during World War II and fought in a battle of Monte Cassino. After the war, he lived at a Scottish farm and finally was given to Edinburgh Zoo. Day 23rd and an European bison, in Polish żubr europejski. Those animals didn't have an easy life throughout their history. Wild ones gradually were exterminated from more and more regions of Europe. This was caused by broadening of farming areas, deforestation and poaching. At the end of the 18th century, they were left only in the Caucasus and in the Białowieża forest in Poland. The last wild bison was killed in 1919. However, there were still some animals kept in captivity, but not a lot of them. International Bison Protection Association was established in Poland and restoration works began. They identified all pure-blood animals and created a bison registry. 8 years later, first individuals were released to the Białowieża forest and slowly their population increased. At the moment, world population consists of about 10,000 animals and 25% of them live in Poland. Mostly free in 8 different forests, but some in captivity. Saving this animal species happened thanks to only a few individuals and was a great success, but unfortunately those animals still need a lot of assistance and protection to survive. Day 24th and a red deer, in Polish jeleń szlachetny, a deer with very majestic antlers inhabiting most of Europe. In Poland, they can be found in all bigger forests. Antlers are grown by males only. They start to grow at the beginning of the spring and at the end of the winter are shed. The biggest antlers are grown by 12 to 14 years old deer. They should be active during the day, but due to predators' activity, they are actually roaming at night and sleep only for about 1 to 2 hours daily. They eat mostly leaves, bark, fruit, grass and different wheat. They often visit farming areas and eat crops such as potatoes, beetroot and cabbage. Day 25 and an European mole, in Polish kret europejski. Moles are small mammals eating insects and earthworms. Although they do have eyes, they are tiny and are beneath fur. Therefore, moles locate prey by sound and vibrations that are detected by whiskers on their mouth and tail. They build long tunnels, usually about 1 to 200 meters, but can be up to 1 kilometer. They are 20 to 50 centimeters below ground. They do not hibernate in winter, but move to tunnels that are way below the frosting ground. Day 26 and I drew an European hare, in Polish zając szarak. It is a common hare in whole Europe and in Poland. However, their population decreases gradually, mostly due to rabies vaccine that is given to foxes. They eat only plants and rarely drink water. They do not dig any burrows, but instead they sleep in depressions in the ground called form and in Polish kotlinka. They have poor eyesight but can spot movement even from a distance. They do not produce any sounds unless chased by a predator or injured. For the day 27th, I drew tarpan and aurochs. In Polish tarpan and tur leśny. I did not expect that, but this was my hardest drawing so far. And this is because both of those animals are extinct and there are almost no visual resources of what they look like. There is only one photo of tarpan and one drawing of a young foal. And for aurochs there are only some drawings based on fossils. Tarpan is an extinct wild horse that used to live in forests of Europe. In Poland, they used to roam wild in Białowieża forest till about 1780. The last tarpan was living in captivity and died in 1909. Uruks is a wild ancestor of modern cattle and was around for millions of years. They had dark coat, probably with a lighter saddle marking on the back. Their horns were large and quite long. They became extinct around 17th century. Day 28 and Grey Wolf, in Polish wilk szary. This is a large predator living in northern hemisphere. Depending on the location, there are many different subspecies. They create packs consisting of up to 20 individuals that are usually a family of a mated pair and their offsprings. Their diet consists mostly of deer, roe deer and boars. They are a very important part of ecosystem as they control the population of big herbivorous mammals that might destroy forests if overpopulated. They also improve the general health in the deer population, as usually they target old, young, sick or weak individuals. They communicate with other wolves with body language, but also with multiple different sounds such as barking, growling and howling. Day 29th and Eurasian harvest mouse, in Polish Badelarka pospolita. This mouse can be found in most of Europe and some parts of Asia and is one of the smallest rodents. They have a long tail that they use for climbing and their fur is yellowish or reddish brown and belly is always white or cream. They live on meadows with high grass or farming fields and build spherical nests out of grass that are attached to stems 20 to 100 centimeters above ground. They eat seeds, buds and shoots, fruit, insects and grain. Day 30th and European rabbit, in Polish Królik europejski. This is an endangered species from Europe. In Poland it is not very common and can be found in the southwestern part of the country. It avoids middles of forests and wetlands. Its diet consists of plants only, like green parts of plants in summer and twigs and roots and bulbs in winter. Contrary to hares, they do dig burrows. Those burrows have one big nest chamber and many corridors with multiple entries from the outside. And the last day of October 2024, day 31, and since it was Halloween, I had to draw a bat. This is a grey long-eared bat, in Polish Gacek szary. It inhabits most of Europe and lives very closely to people. Although they often hunt for food near forests, both in summer and winter they hide in buildings. In summer mostly attics, and in winter in man-made underground structures like cellars. It is a small bat that has very distinctive long ears. It hunts mostly moths, but also beetles. Their prey is not consumed mid-flight, but brought back to the night shelter and eaten there. And this is it. Inktober 2024 is finally completed. I think that drawings from this last week are definitely the best. I did not expect that I will improve, but I was proven wrong. Let me know what you think, don't forget to leave a like and see you in the next video. Bye bye!